The wild leg, they call it. So what I should have is 240 volts, roughly.
Let me turn off that video. I'm listening to this guy on YouTube, KT3406, 3406E. The guy is pretty cool. He does a lot of diesel stuff. I think I haven't. This is that's the latest, his latest video. He hasn't been producing in quite a while. I haven't seen him anyway. Yeah, so this one I'm gonna drain the coolant. Yeah, this is the one I'm trying to sell, 94 Camry. It's been sitting for a little while. Yeah, need to flip, need to make some money. Dollar bill, y'all. So I need to sell it. I need to drain the coolant. The coolant is pretty rusty, and I need to do a fuel filter. I need to do a fuel filter, which is somewhere there. Bring you the light. That's the fuel filter there. I need to do that. Change the oil, and then you can see this vehicle does need to be washed and detailed. Yeah, so let me do that. Let me set myself up, and then yeah, let me set myself up and drain that oil. I gotta take the panel off down there because I'm just gonna unhook the coolant hose. Got the coolant hose down there. I'm just gonna unhook the coolant hose. There's no need of me fighting with that. They got a petcock, but that takes forever to drain. But I'll see. Let me lift it up and get underneath, and then I'll see. And you can see this thing is you can hear that current. God damn it! I got that freaking. I need to replace that extension cable. Extension cable. Look at that! I fixed it. I think I fixed it last time. It's mad ghetto, y'all. It's mad ghetto. All right. I see that freaking get electrocuted. Anyway, it is what it is.
I tried every type of feeding medication, Viagra or for benefit, and Cialis or Tadalafil. I know it's supposed to be benefit, but this is not the result.
So that's a lower radiator hose. I'm gonna unhook it from here. You got a petcock right there. But like I said, got a petcock right there, but that takes forever to drain. I shifted this panel down here. That's a transmission line. I had replaced the radiator on this vehicle before, and that's a sensor of some kind. Yeah, so I'm gonna unhook, and then we're gonna let it drain, and then we're gonna see. I don't even know why I'm wearing freaking Bluetooth. I don't even know what for. That dude has got some skills, but he's got a heavy southern accent. I don't think I'm gonna get it right there. Yeah, so I looked at that diesel engine right there. I don't think I'm gonna get the right, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Man, he's got a heavy accent, that's for sure. This is right there. I voted for Trump. That's what I did. Yes, I did. I voted for him. You're good. Trump a good man. Yeah, we gonna get these tariffs going on here. We gonna bring America to be great again. We gonna start making stuff in America. And let me quit running my mouth. Let me do this. So. All right, here comes the flood. Yeah, you can see how brown the water is. I really don't like draining. Anything to do with, you can see, and then over there leaking over. Anything to do with draining coolant sucks, man. I mean, sucks most cock, but you can see how dirty the water is. So, sometimes it gets to me because when you're trying to sell a car, and I'm knocking on, don't get me wrong, I understand where people are coming from, especially now when people have no money. But it does piss me off sometimes. You can see the gunk that was in there. You can see the hose is off. But it does piss me off sometimes when people ask you 101 questions. And I understand where people are coming from. Like I said, there's no money. They ask you 200 questions, and I try to sell a good vehicle. Everything I try to sell something decent. Because the other day there was a young guy who he fell off a motorcycle, and I think the guy's a beginner. I could tell because he fell off. My neighborhood is a small hill, and so I had the noise. I had a pack. So I go check it out, and I go help him to lift up the bike. But the bike was, I ain't knocking on the bike. It was an old bike. It wasn't a Ninja 650, but it was beat up. I could tell just looking at it. The thing was beat up. The seat was barely holding on. Probably the seat wasn't even secure, because when he fell, the seat fell off. And he didn't even know how to secure the seat himself. But I'm just saying that sometimes it does get to you when people ask you 201 questions. And you try to sell something decent, but like I said, just because of everybody else who doesn't do right, we all gotta suffer for it. That's life. So I flashed it with some water. This radiator has been replaced before. Remember, I replaced it. So I flashed it with some water. You can see how brown the water was. The reason why I hadn't replaced it is because I wasn't sure. This car has been sitting for a while. Originally, this car, the head gasket went out. I replaced the head gasket, and I wasn't able to get it to, the timing belt broke, the water pump failed, and the head gasket blew. The car overheated. I wasn't able to get the vehicle running because I replaced the head gasket, but the timing was off on the camshafts, and I messed up, and I could never get that timing right until I just went back again. Like I said, sometimes they say necessity is the mother of invention. I'd given up on this car. I was gonna take it to the LKQ, the junkyard, have them come and pick it up, but I need to sell it, Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Look how I look, covered in all kinds of pollen and all kinds. So this one goes to the government. That one goes to the government dump. We don't. We are environmentally conscious here. We don't play around with the. We don't play around with the government. So that's what I want to see. I want to see green. You can see we got green coolant coming out, which is good. More likely that's coming from the engine side of the vehicle. There are a couple of other places where you can drain coolant on this engine. I've seen a nipple somewhere. But you know what? You can see. I think so. That's draining from this hose, and I think it's draining from the engine. That's where the thermostat is. I know I've replaced the thermostat on this car, but look how rusty some of those little bolts are. End up breaking them. Ah! Ooh! I didn't want to break that. I remember one time I quit one job, and I was well, quitting a job for me is a job. That's my profession right now. I should actually get paid for quitting jobs. I'm pretty good at it. But anyway, this young guy, you see you see how fine these things are. So this guy was trying to hook me up with some jobs. He had some kid working for him, so he tells me to go check for him. The guy had a leak. So I show up, and this kid, it was a Honda Accord, and this thing sits somewhere here. And there were three of them, so it was a triangle. So it was this, and there was another one. Is there another one down here? No. So there was another one down here. And the kid had broken two of them off, and he was driving with he was driving with them broken. And of course, once you break this thing is not gonna seal well. Man, like I said, do you know what my favorite word in the English language is these days? My favorite word in the English language is a no. So I felt sorry for the kid, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make a joke of it, but I told him no, I couldn't fix it. I mean, that's freaking a can of worms. Yeah, so these things you gotta be very careful. Easy to strip, easy to break. Like now you can see how rusty these ones are. These ones you gotta kind of lube them up and then just go easy on them. That's the problem with these cars. Everything is small. Look at this, tiny things that break. I mean, this one's at least is decent size, but just so tiny screws that will break on you. And so this manifold had been replaced before. I didn't even notice that. I can see that. That's probably. But anyway, so that's a thing. That's a problem with this little. That's a can of worms. You break that becomes another problem. Then you're freaking drilling shit out. I don't know what the hell you're doing or replacing this whole housing. So that can be a bitch. That's why you gotta be gentle with these things. With the vehicles, you gotta be very gentle, man. Yep, it doesn't take much for shit to hit the fan, like they say. As they say. You know, it doesn't take much for shit to hit the fan, as they say. So yes, this freaking hose. Oh yeah, that's good right there. Doesn't take much for what? For shit to hit the fan. Then you're screwing, then you're freaking. That's what I'm saying. That's what, like I said, these days my favorite word is, and I need the moolah. And my favorite word has become no. If it's a can of worms, no, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. My favorite word is no. Can you do it? No. Do you wanna do it? No. Can you do it? Are you professional enough to do it? Nope. Yep. You guys can call me a YouTube mechanic all day long, but you know what? I ain't gonna. I mean, you lose a lot of money. That's a problem. You leave a lot of money on the table, though. But some things are a freaking headache. Some things are a freaking headache. Some things are just a freaking headache. You know, somebody can call you. Let them call you a YouTube mechanic all day long, man. And I do my research before I go do side jobs. I'll check them on YouTube and see what kind of job I'm getting myself into. If it's a certain jobs, I don't want to take it. I ain't gonna do it. Like the other day, I had somebody who wanted me to. Somebody had a Trax with a 1.4 liter, and the oil cooler is leaking. So I did the YouTube thing. I should have put this thing a little bit better. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It'll be all right. So I did the YouTube thing. I checked it out where the freaking because I used to work at a rental place, and we used to have those with a 1.4 with the cruise. So I checked where the oil cooler is. It's underneath the turbo. You gotta take the whole turbo off. Get what the answer was? Nope. Yeah, I ain't gonna mess with that damn thing, man. Fucking. I mean, if it's my own car, if I'm buying a car to flip, I have no choice. But I ain't gonna mess with those damn freaking break those bolts, freaking break those lines on the turbo. I mean, you gotta be married to that car. But anyway, let me stop running my mouth. Yeah, so that's tight, and you can see that's one I had put, and this is the original one. And of course, these ones once you break them loose, they don't hold. So, yep. So we're gonna put the panel back on, and then I'll leave the panel back off in case I need to tighten anything. We're gonna change the oil, and then we're gonna add some coolant in it, run it, and see what that takes us with what we're gonna douche the douche. All right, let me drain the oil, and then we can go to the next step. You can see the hose is right at the edge. It's right there. That's good. And like I said, that's the transmission lines for the transmission cooler. That's some kind of temperature sensor of some kind. Yep. Oil is drained. Put back the drain plug. Tight, don't have to go super tight on it. It's got a drain plug, got a little gasket, and it should be able to. That's a good tool. Should be able to pretty be tight enough. Man, you didn't use a torque wrench, man. Yeah. I'm an A+ tech mechanic. I don't need to use a torque wrench. Nah, just drain plug as long as you don't go crazy. And this thing that's the difference between and this thing is metal. It's not aluminum. Some of those things you can't say when you're African. So that one you can unless you're being stupid, you can use unless you're being stupid, you can unless you can, unless you're just being stupid, there's no, you're not gonna strip that one, because you'd have to really crank it tight. And also, like I say, you gotta, that little ratchet, you can't crack it too tight. Oil is a little bit dark, but not too bad, considering this oil is about 3-4 years old. This car has been sitting for about 3-4 years. So let me drain it, and then we go to our next thing. Yeah, that one was pretty black. And you can see how thick it is too. Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. But like I said, this vehicle has been sitting for a couple of years. That is bound to happen. So we'll check the date on the filter, because I usually do write the dates on the filters. We'll check the date and see when was the last time oil change was done. Yeah, so RAM, so 06 25 21. Like I said, this car has been sitting, that was the last time it was done, 06 25 21. Like I said, yeah, this car has been sitting for like 6 years. Wow, it's 05. Oh, so this month, oh my goodness me. Yeah, 22, 23, 24, 25. I mean, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 4 years. Yeah, this guy's been sitting for that long. Like I said, necessity is the mother of invention. Because like I said, I'd given up on this car. I was going to call, even I did a title transfer to my dad. This used to be my dad's car. He transferred it to me so that I could just call the junkyard and get rid of it. Telling you, man, getting old sucks moose cock, man. I was looking for this filter all over the place. I bought it some weeks ago and I didn't even know where I put it. Like I said, man, getting old sucks what? Getting old sucks moose cock. Okay, let's get this filter in there, get some oil in there, get some coolant in this thing. See whether we can get this thing working. Let me check the mileage. 55, 252. So we got the date right there, 05, 06, 225, and we go 155 to 52. It's good right there. This stuff used to be, I remember buying Lucas oil for $7. Now they're selling this thing for 14. It's doubled in price. Oh, things are gonna get expensive. They already are. Well, at least the Lucas oil is not gonna get affected by tariffs. You never know, maybe they probably make it in China too. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord, God help us all. Making everything in China right now. Good God, excuse me. Come on, jug, stay. Oh, Lord have mercy, I got this. You're the son of a bitch. You're the son of a bitch. You're the son of a bitch. Big good. Right, stay right there. Let's put some more. Let's put the nasty. Let's put the nasty. God, I'm stepping on my toes. And even this thing this thing is probably 10 years old also. Oh, let's put the nasty. Let's put the nasty. Let's put the nasty. Let's put the nasty up in there. Let's put the nasty. Yeah, I bought this Lucas oil when it probably was $10. Now it's freaking 14. Anyway, let me stop complaining. Stop complaining. You know, I was making fun about made in China. You know, I signed up for Red Note when TikTok got banned for a period of time, and even the editing software I use, CapCut, was banned too. And I'm telling you, man, we might, you know, it's okay to say made in China and laugh, but my friends, we're in deep, deep trouble. If we think that the Chinese are so backwards, we're in deep trouble. And that's a good thing, and that's a beautiful thing about America. You can lie to yourself because people don't travel. But I'm telling you, just going on that raid note, you see just the interesting stuff they have. I'm not talking about technology, comparing technology, but even the little electric cars they have. So, and Red Note is actually pretty scary though, because when you go on Red Note, you see how can I say this diplomatically? You see how normal human beings are supposed to look, and I ain't knocking on anybody. Even me, I can lose some weight. But it's scary actually. You look at people and you're like, anyway, let's check whether our so like I was saying, you look at people. Let me not say we. Well, I was gonna say women, but let's not say that. But even men, you look at. I mean, I'm not looking at. I mostly look at I check out the ladies. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but just looking at normal people, the way people look, you're like, oh my goodness. You mean human beings are supposed to be this size? I mean, you look at those Chinese women, you think they're damn, how do you say that in English? Emaciated? But that's how normal people are supposed to look. Unbelievable, man. It's amazing how your definition of let me get the freaking running around like a fool, man, trying to get all my freaking funnels and whatnot. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, it's scary when you go on that red note. You look at people and you're like, oh my God. Fucking spilling everywhere. Freaking A. This freaking Havoline environmental shit. Save the planet shit, they ain't working out. Oh God, I'm spilling. Freaking Havoline came up with this cardboard looking thing supposed to save the environment. Man, this thing hasn't, this probably oil is about a year or 2 years old. Man, this some bitch ain't working out, man. You spill half of it, the freaking environmental box. Man, be good to daddy. All right, so let's set ourselves up and start adding coolant. We added some oil. I don't think that oil is enough, but I got the cow in Jackson, so it's hard to tell a true reading of the oil. Yep, it's showing on the dipstick. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful when you add oil, because don't forget, we added one of these Lucas oil thingy-majiggies, so you gotta compensate for that. And then we got some of this. So let me set myself up with a freaking coolant. Then we're gonna add some coolant, make sure it doesn't leak, and then we're gonna do our fuel filter. So concentrate. We don't buy no 50/50. That's for freaking that's a scam. You can add our own water. Unless you're stuck on the side of the road and you need to add coolant quick. 50/50 is a scam. Here's our measuring cup. Got a yogurt container for measuring. Oh shit. Ah. I was wondering what's making that noise. God damn, it's freaking rubbing a... Shit. That's why you gotta look before you start the car. Anyway, last time I had a problem bleeding this thing, so I'm gonna skip the skip the fuel filter for today. Let me first of all see if I can. It's getting late. Let me first of all see whether I can bleed it, and then I'll get the fuel filter next time. That's a fuel filter right there. So today I'm gonna skip the fuel filter for now. Let me first bleed it, because last time it took forever to bleed this car. Yeah, so last time it took me forever to bleed it, so today I'm just gonna So like I said, last time it took me forever to bleed it, so it's already going to 7 p.m. Even though it's in the summer, it's still bright out. You can see the sky is still bright out, but I don't want to get caught up, so I'm just gonna bleed the system, the coolant system, and then bleed the system, and then I can do the fuel filter next time. And then yeah, there's still a couple of more steps that need to be done on this car. I still gotta do the body work. You can see how it looks. It needs to be, I need to do the paint a little bit, improve, not paint it, but actually just yeah, just you know, wax it and do all the thing. This is gonna be mentioned to the customer, so this is gonna be like the negotiation. I'm gonna have to decide whether it's worth it for me to change the tires before I sell it, or just do as part of the negotiating. We can negotiate about the tires. Right now I'm driving it like that, but you can see those tires are not safe. That is not safe at all. These tires can come apart any minute. So that is gonna be part of negotiating. The back, I gotta do the rear disc brakes. Sorry, no, I gotta clean up the drums and adjust them in the back. And yeah, so I gotta do that. And I am missing a wheel cover. I don't know what happened to one wheel cover. I don't know. So yeah, but other than that, that's caliente. You don't be fighting today. That's caliente. He's getting old, so he can't fight as much as he used to fight anymore. Yeah, so you can see even the water is getting dirty. So you can see there was still a lot of dirt. It was still dirty in the water in the engine. But yeah, it's still it gotta be flashed a few times. But yeah, so that's it. So that's it. Like I said, I gotta do a few things before it goes on the market. But I think we're getting there. Maybe by this week, hopefully by tomorrow, maybe I'll put it in there. I can put it on Marketplace. Even though Marketplace is a home of idiots, but it is what it is. What can you do? What can you do? What are you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Wanna be ballless, shortcut? What's the problem, Caliente? Yeah, so even though selling anything in this market is not easy, I got the heat running, and I can hear the heat. I can feel the heat coming through, and so I can feel the heat. I got the heat all the way blasting. That will open up the thermostat and then bring some air and kick the. I wanna hear the fans kick on, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. All right, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit while this is going on, because I got the vehicle on jack stands. Yeah, so like I said, those tires are gonna be part of a negotiation. Yeah, but this is a nice car. I wish I could sell my, if I could sell my Sonic, I would keep this one, but I can't have that many cars. I can't have too many cars. I gotta get rid of some. And my Sonic, I use it for the Uber. So this one has to go. I just want to make it a good where the next person who buys it, I like doing stuff good. I don't like screwing people. So we check back here. See, it's good. We don't see any leaks. It's good. Yeah. So you can see we've got some issues. You got to see that the drive axles and boots are torn. But this is a good car for a student. Yeah, this is a good car for a student. Like I said, if I can sell my Sonic, I'll keep this one. I can modify it. I'll make it into a little, I can play around with it. It's a 94. So whatever you break, it can always be fixed. Go to the junkyard and find something. So yeah, let me clean up and then catch you when this thing is, the fans have kicked on. So the fan just kicked on. This time it didn't take forever to bleed like it did last time. You can see the water is still dark. I might have to do this a few times, but at least it's still better than it was before. At least we're getting there. More likely it is probably a better idea to be hooked up to a machine that will clean up all the gunk. But anyway, I got heat in the cabin. So I'm good. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pack up my tools a little bit, and then if I have time, I'm gonna do the fuel filter.